Now, there's this business about blaming Donald Trump for the underperformance of the Republicans in the midterms. Here is James Carville.
I'm going to try, because I'm sitting here saying if you put everything in a computer, we should have lost 57 seats. Yeah. Easy. Yeah. 4 or 5 Senate seats. And the reason is really Donald Trump.
The reason really is Donald Trump. First of all, these candidates that you think underperformed, nobody put a gun to their head and told them to announce. If you feel that Dr. Oz could have been better, nobody put a gun to his head and told him to announce. If you feel that Herschel Walker could have been better, nobody put a gun to his head and told him to run. If you feel that Bulldog in New Hampshire could have been better, nobody put a gun to his head. And as a former candidate for governor, there are lots of reasons why you might not win an election. And speaking of California, we just had our re-election of the governor of California, the man I competed against in the recall election. I lost by 24 points. I got 3.5 million votes. And according to the LA Times, I was a perfect foil for Gavin Newsom. Why? Because Larry denies the existence of anti-black systemic racism, and I do. Larry says that Donald Trump was almost God sent, and I did say that. And Larry has made derogatory comments about females. No, I didn't, but that's what they said. The opponent of Gavin Newsom is a man named Brian Dawley, a respected state legislator. He got 2.4 million votes, and he competed only against Gavin Newsom. I competed against Gavin Newsom and 45 other people on the replacement side, and I got 3.5 million votes. And Brian Dawley never said anything about not believing in anti-black systemic racism. Brian Dawley won't even say whether or not he wants Trump to run in 2024. He never said Donald Trump was almost God sent. He never made any derogatory comments about females. And he only got 2.4 million votes. 1.1 million votes less than I got. And again, he competed against one guy. And he didn't have almost $200 million thrown against him the way I did. Now, you can analyze why I lost all sorts of ways. You can say that I was too close to Donald Trump. And as you know, they kept showing the ad of Donald Trump and me with our thumbs up over and over and over again. So don't give me that. There's all sorts of reasons why people lose races. And what about the races where Donald Trump endorsed a candidate? The candidate won. In North Carolina, Trump's endorsed candidate won. And I believe Kari Lake's going to win in Arizona. That's still to be determined. We're going to talk about that later on. And also, there's the race, Blake Masters, also in Arizona. We'll talk about that later on. I think he's going to win that. So does Donald Trump get credit for that? And when they have the runoff in Georgia, which will happen on December the 6th, the Donald Trump candidate is Herschel Walker. I also supported Herschel Walker. If Herschel Walker wins, will Donald Trump get credit for that? I think it's incredibly unfair. Look, the people that say that hate Donald Trump's guts, and now they're saying, we finally got him. We finally now have convinced the Republicans to dropkick this guy. Really? Now, you've got Tucker Carlson, who apparently listens to the Larry Elder Show. Watch this.
Many others are saying that Donald Trump is the reason Republicans didn't do as well as they thought they would. That's a more complicated question. The truth is we can't really see the entire picture this early. Excuse us. I mean, the truth is Trump has always been a mixed blessing politically. The downsides are marbled in with the upsides. But in this case, he's certainly not the single cause of anything. Republicans last night suffered a fair amount of down-ballot losses in races that had nothing to do with Trump. In Michigan, for example. So whether you like Trump or not, and many don't, and a lot do, it's a lot more complicated than just him. And then there's the most amusingly stupid explanation of all. Excuse us, all election talk. So bad candidates were the problem. And that's all over Twitter. All the Twitter pundits are telling you now the candidates were subpar, and that was the problem. Candidate quality matters. Well, of course, strictly speaking, that is true. The quality of the candidate does matter, but at really how much does it matter? Well, let's see. Joe Biden got elected president 2 years ago from his basement. John Fetterman became a U.S. senator last night. Does anyone think John Fetterman was a quality candidate?
I got 2 words for anybody who thinks that it's all about poor candidate quality. John Fetterman. I got 2 more words. Joe Biden. And we haven't talked about the Obama factor, have we?
Former President Barack Obama is heading to the Peach State today. He's kicking off his midterms tour campaigning with Senator Raphael Warnock and gubernatorial candidate Stacey Abrams.
And that's why Democrats are hoping that Obama coming to the state can encourage Democrats to get out to vote. Georgia, remember, has a runoff system. So if no candidate reaches 50% of the vote, then it goes into a runoff. That takes place in December, and that complicates a whole lot of things for those candidates. And trying to get people to turn out in December after an election is always a challenge. So they're really trying to use Obama to the best that they can in these states. And it's considerable because, you know, President Biden and even Kamala Harris, the vice president, are not, you know, exactly.
I think the word you're looking for is popular.
You know, campaign assets at this point.
They're not campaign assets. You mean they have poor ratings?
Not seeing candidates clamor to have them in their competitive, very highly scrutinized races. But Obama is someone who is a wanted surrogate out on the trail.
No kidding. Obama stumped for the aforementioned John Fetterman.
You deserve better than somebody who's just trying to make a quick buck. Somebody willing to say anything to get attention. You deserve somebody who knows you. You deserve somebody who stood side by side with you. Somebody who will work every day and fight for you. Somebody who's actually from Pennsylvania. You deserve somebody like John Fetterman.
And Obama stumped for the governor of New York, Hochul, who has retained her job.
You can count on her to protect abortion rights, voting rights, and everything else you care about. So don't sit this one out.
Obama stumped for the governor of Wisconsin, Tony Evers.
Hey, Wisconsin, do you have a plan to vote by November 8th? If not, it's important you make one. If you care about protecting your right to vote, protecting access to abortion, and investing in our kids' public education, you need to get out and vote for my friend, Governor Tony Evers.
Obama stumped for the opponent of the Wisconsin Senator, Ron Johnson. His name is Mandela Barnes.
Democracy is at stake in this election, and that's why it's not enough to elect Democrats like Mandela Barnes and Tony Evers. You've got to elect good people up and down the ballot, because if things get close, they could make all the difference.
As set, Barack Obama stumped for Governor Tim Walz of Minnesota.
This is Barack Obama. Minnesota, our rights and our future are on the ballot this year. That's why I'm supporting Tim Walz and Peggy Flanagan. As governor, Tim balanced the state budget while cutting taxes for the middle class. He's pushed for tax rebate checks to help with the cost of living.
Now, speaking of candidate quality, I give you Democrat Tony DeLuca, a Pennsylvania state rep for over 39 years. He died last month of lymphoma at age 85, but got reelected in a landslide. Now, speaking of candidate quality, what do you say about a dead guy who won a race in a landslide? Again, John Fetterman, Joe Biden, Tony DeLuca. Don't give me this crap about candidate quality. What's this? Larry, don't tell me you brought a pair of MYPILLOW, my slippers. Oh, yes, I did. And here they are in my baby brown libertarian fingers. This is a beautiful color. They come in different colors. And in case you don't like this style, guess what? They come in different styles. Hey, you say jump, Mike Lindell says hi, how high, and he doesn't come down until you tell him. And then, of course, there is the classic. This is the MYPILLOW, or is that redundant? MYPILLOW. Actually, this is not your pillow. This is my pillow. This is MYPILLOW. To get your own pillow, MYPILLOW, go to MyPillow.com, use promo code ELDER, or call the number on your screen. Again, they come in different sizes. And, of course, there's the Giza Dream bedsheet. Notice I'm holding it up higher. People complain, Larry, I can't order the Giza Dream bedsheet because you're holding it too low. Again, you tell me what you want, and I'm there. Who has your back? Who loves you, baby? Now, call the number on the screen or go to MyPillow.com, promo code ELDER. Remember, these come in different sizes because, believe it or not, We have mattresses and beds that come in different sizes. They also come in different colors. Call the number on your screen or go to MyPillow.com. Be sure and use promo code ELDER. I'll be right back. Abortion was a much bigger issue than a lot of us anticipated. For example, in California, there was Proposition 1. I mentioned a little earlier the landslide victory of the governor of California, Gavin Newsom. I lost by 24 points in the recall. The opponent in the re-election, Brian Dawley, lost by over 25 points. However, Proposition 1 on the ballot in California that would quote unquote codify abortion, I don't know why it was even necessary. In the California Constitution, it says that there is a right to privacy. So abortion has already been codified in the California Constitution. However, this was perceived to be necessary because of the dastardly reversal of Roe v. Wade. That ballot initiative won by 30 points, even bigger than the margin that Gavin Newsom won his re-election by. All over the country, voters in places like Vermont and Michigan joined California in adding quote-unquote abortion rights to the Constitution. In Michigan, nearly half of the voters said abortion was their number one issue, and Democrats, by the way, won both chambers of the Michigan legislature. New York Times said this, and I'm quoting them. In Virginia, Minnesota, New Mexico, and elsewhere, abortion rights emerged as a driving force in the midterm elections, helping Democrats win ballot measures, governor's races, and House seats, close quote. But you want to talk about candidate quality? Kentucky, the home state to Minority Leader Mitch McConnell, reproductive rights lost. Abortion was the number one issue, as I mentioned, among Democratic voters in California. 45% said it's what brought them to the polls. And the New York Times said this, and I'm quoting, in Pennsylvania, abortion overtook the economy as the top issue on voters' minds, end of quote. For Republicans, it was things like inflation, gas prices, crime, but nationwide, 76% of Democrats ranked abortion as the number one issue. The only issue that ranked even higher for all voters was inflation. Now, and get this, according to the New York Times, while overturning Roe gave Democrats a winning issue, it has not made any real world difference in the number of abortions. I repeat, Democrats are fixed on the reversal of Roe v. Wade, claiming it's an assault on women's reproductive rights, yada, blah, etc. It hasn't made any difference in the number of abortions. Here's what the New York Times said, quote, Republicans had sought an end to Roe for nearly 50 years, but the issue had long motivated their core supporters more than it motivated their opponents. In this election, the court victory turned out to be a political loser, but it hasn't, quote, made much of a dent in the number of abortions nationwide, close quote. So it's been a big issue politically. It has not been any real issue on the ground in the world. Number of abortions has not changed. It did, however, give the Democrats a political issue, and it was a much more important issue than a lot of us had predicted. Here is the former campaign chair of Bernie Sanders, who then joined the Biden team, Simone Sanders.
And if you are a woman, a person with a daughter, a family, a man in this country, it is a kitchen table issue for you. Abortion is an economic issue, and we are seeing that borne out in the data and the vote.
And as I said, I was invited on the Maria Bartiromo show on Fox Business. I admitted I underestimated the impact of abortion as an issue. Well, I think that the Republicans did not have the night that they thought they were going to have, did not have the night that I thought they were going to have. I think some of these issues that I really thought were peripheral issues like abortion, like so-called election denying, were much more important than I thought. Now, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and remember to go to LarryWithEpic.com to subscribe to the show, because the first half hour of the show, you get it gratis. You get it for free because that's how we roll. Second half, you have to be a subscriber. And remember to click on the description below to get on our mailing list, because believe it or not, we have been demonetized, or as Obama might say, demonetized by YouTube. And because we've been demonetized, We'd love for you to donate to the program, so you can always hit that donate button, all right?